Guys, Scott here and welcome to the Rogue Review. Today we are talking about Game of Thrones Season 6 Episode 4. Man, I'm pumped for this. All of yesterday I was waiting for this. I usually watch the new episode of Game of Thrones a Monday morning before I go to work, but I was on tour yesterday. I was travelling from Leeds to Bristol, so I only got to see this episode around midnight when I got back from my gig in Bristol. But I've seen the episode and man, is this good. Man, this series is already better than Season 5, and Season 5 was pretty damn good. But we have the big moment with Daenerys at the end. I mean, you got to talk about that moment. The big moment where she basically takes control of the Dothraki. She's got a massive force now. Like, it has to happen, right? For seasons, we've all been like, when's she going to Westeros? When is she going? When is she going? I think this is the season that she's going. I think she's going to take her force and go to Westeros and surprise us all. I think that's going to be our next big move. I think Tyrion has got a handle on things. Obviously, you've got Missandei and Grey Worm, who are both sort of ex-slaves, and they're uncomfortable with him. He's this foreigner, he's not been around for long, and he's making all these big decisions. And they're uncomfortable with it. They're uncomfortable with it, and the tension's going to build there. I feel like there's going to be a civil war in Meereen. I think that just war is going to erupt everywhere soon. There's just going to be huge battles between everyone, because it feels like the beginning of Season 2 in a way, that there's all these different sides, all these different pockets of people, all these different kingdoms that are just building with tension, and war is just going to erupt, you know, and at the wrong time, because the White Walkers, I'm pretty sure, are coming soon. And so, yeah, Daenerys, make your way to Westeros, love. I just want to see her interact with characters. Obviously, we all love those badass moments with her out in the flames and everything, but I just want to see Daenerys interact with Jon Snow. I think we all do, you know. That's what I want. And so character interactions are, you know, a lot of that is what I get out of this episode. I love the Tyrion stuff in Meereen with the Masters. It was really cool. There's some great dialogue there. I even really liked the bit with the High Sparrow and Marjorie. I think it was good to get to know him a little bit. Even if it was BS, even if he's completely lying to her, because it seemed that he was sort of paraphrasing bits of the Book of the Stranger, which is in the 7-Point Star, the religious book of that, the Seven. Yeah, there's so many religions. I get messed up with the names, but, you know, he's telling Marjorie a little bit about how he became the High Sparrow, which, to be honest, I could have used a little bit of that last season to get a little bit more of him, but I'm glad I'm finally getting it now. I felt, yeah, this is time that we know a bit more about him. Because before that, he's just this sort of like vague religious threat in the capital, but now there's a bit more to him. We finally see Loras in his cell. We catch up with some characters we haven't seen in a while today. I'll back to that in a moment, but we see Loras and he's just broken and he just wants to die. And man, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't, and I love that. I love watching this show because there's so many characters that I care about and that I find interesting. And Loras was sort of a two-dimensional character. There wasn't really much to him. What do we know? He's a great swordsman. He was in love with Renly, who got killed, and, you know, and his preference of partner is a big stir in the kingdoms, you know. But now it seems he's becoming a bit more of a darker character. I think when he eventually gets out, he's going to wreak some havoc. So I'm expecting big things for Loras and for Marjorie, you know. It seems she's not been broken by it, but she's, I think, yeah, she's up to something, don't know what. Cool. So let's jump to my stuff in the episode that I really, really loved. I mean, there's stuff in the Iron Islands, but there's not really much there, you know. I mean, it's great to see Theon and Yara talk, and Theon's going to help her with the King's Moot, but really my favourite stuff is going on up at the Wall, because finally we have some Starks reuniting after so long. And do you know what I'm thinking about? I only watched series 1 a couple of weeks back. Did we ever see Jon and Sansa actually interact? I don't think we did, you know. So almost this episode title was The Book of the Stranger, and I feel as an audience member, these two characters, though are siblings, you know, not really, though they're siblings, they feel like strangers to me because I've never seen them interact. And so seeing them sort of run into each other's arms and hug, I got emotional, man. I got emotional. Like I couldn't hold it in. little tear, just saying. And seeing them interact and getting to know what they were like together, what they're like as siblings, and that she wasn't very nice to him and he was always grumpy in the corner, that's cool. And now we have Jon's motivation for why he's going to go south, you know, because Ramsay sent this letter saying, I've got Rickon, I've got Winterfell, come see, and yeah, it's, big stuff's going to happen. I want the last shot of the last episode to be Jon Snow beheading Ramsay and everyone cheering. And that's the end of the episode. Or maybe, and then it just cuts to the White Walkers, just like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because they're wearing themselves out and this big thing's going to happen. But that dinner scene, that scene at the table with Tormund, Podrick, you know, Dolorous Edd, who's the new Lord Commander, Brienne, Sansa, and Jon, I just thought it was really interesting because they're not saying a lot. They're all eating this food that's not very nice. And yeah, you just cut to Tormund and he's giving Brienne the eyes. He's sort of munching on this chicken leg. I just thought, it just struck me the genius of the writers on this show because, yeah, this Tormund had that story while they were sort of camped outside the Castle Black in season 4. He talked about this story of how he made love to this bear, and Ygritte's just like, I don't want to hear about you screwing a bear. And then we also saw Brienne fighting a bear, so I think there's this sort of bear connection going on. I don't know if something's going to happen between the two of them. You know, because he's got the hots for Brienne. I mean, that's a pairing I never shipped. You know, and then I think we're going to Bear Island. I think we're going to see Bear Island finally, and the Mormonts are going to help Sansa out and add some men to her army that she's assembling, which is going to be a big epic showdown. But it used to be the case that every episode you got a little bit more of the characters moving along, but now there's so many storylines, you sort of have to pick bits out of each episode and plot them as you go along. So we didn't get Sam and Gilly, we didn't get Bran, and we didn't get Arya, and we still haven't got anything of Dawn, you know, apart from the first episode, so who knows what's going on there. But brilliant episode. This season is just getting epic, and my videos for them are getting longer because there's just more to talk about and speculate. Littlefinger's obviously back, being Littlefinger's really cool. And where's Bronn? Okay, my question is, where is Bronn? What's he up to? Is he just in a bar having a drink? You know, I think we're going to see another wedding this season, and I think it's going to be Bronn's wedding. I think Bronn's going to end up getting married, maybe to one of the Frey girls, who knows, maybe, you know, because Jaime promised him. He promised him a bigger castle and a better princess, so, you know, I could see him rocking up at a sort of red wedding sort of thing. We shall see. But anyway, I've been Scott. This is the Rogue Review. Hope you've enjoyed.